like today, if we can, to talk about your third book, your most recent one, The Legacy Family, which I have to say is absolutely essential reading for all my clients. So much so that my copy of it, I think, is I gave to a client yesterday to look at, and they secretly put it in their bag, or I didn't pick it up. So I'm here, can't trust anybody. I'm here without the book, but I know that you have a copy handy, and if you don't mind, in your beautiful Californian accent, if you could read a couple of paragraphs on page 153 around this topic of the different skill sets that people should have around them, and more importantly, how to use them, because we can all have skill sets around us, but if they're not engaged and practiced and functioning, it's something less than the dream team that sometimes people seem to think they have.
Well, I think rather than reading anything,
Sure.
I think what you need to really do is you look at a family and at the business, because this is not like a one size fits all. Because within any family, within any business, there are already some strengths and there are some weaknesses. And so what you are building around the family, this kind of team, which I call the brain trust, or it's the real trusted advisors, are individuals who have skill sets that the family does not have, that the family needs. It's not unlike in a business, in a non-family business, when you put together a board of directors. What do? You say, okay, this is what this business needs. It needs a finance person, right? Maybe needs a marketing person. Maybe we're international distribution, so we should get someone on the board who's had some experience in that. Whatever the business is, you're looking for people who have expertise for that particular business. That's actually how I look at families. Where is the natural strength that the family has? And now where are the holes that we need to put around the family so that they get the best level of advice? And not only are they getting levels, there's two aspects of this kind of brain trust concept that I have. It's not just coming to me as a psychologist and going to you as the attorney. I want to be able to talk to you. If you and I are both on the team with the Jones family, I just don't want to do my thing and you do your thing, because the collaboration is much more powerful. I don't want, let me, I don't want to do anything from my perspective that may interfere with what you're trying to do. And on the other hand, is you're creating structures. I don't want you to do something that I know isn't going to work.
Mm.
Don't put two brothers together to manage something when I know they've hated each other. Okay. And you don't know that because the family doesn't come in and tell you that.
Yeah.
The family just comes in and says, I think they'll figure it out. They'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Well, they're going to figure it out, slugging it out in court. Because if they haven't had the opportunities to, have that collaborative, positive work experience before, what makes you think they're automatically going to get it? It's a learning process, a training process. And as part, if in fact there's going to be some shared assets that two people are going to have to manage, then part of the brain trust is who can help people work through differences, who can do conflict resolution.
Absolutely. And would you, when you talk about the strengths in the family, it's my experience that a lot of people who make money in the first generation, they're outliers. They've worked so hard, they're laser focused, and they're a little bit, they're more quantity than qualitative. They,
Yeah.
they absolutely are subject matter experts deeply, and they're smart, so people don't like to challenge them on the fact that maybe their qualitative skills and guesses and biases aren't as sophisticated as their business attributes.
And that's almost always the same. I
Hmm.
mean, just because you are a very successful business person doesn't mean you understand effective communication or conflict resolution any more than you could say, Lee, would you please come over and run General Motors? I'm not prepared to step in
Yeah,
as a CEO of General Motors, right? That's not my skill set.
yeah.
Even though I could be brilliant in my field, I have to understand where my silo is and where my expertise lies. And I have to build this expertise, but not just siloed. I have to build expertise that can collaborate. So it's a two-pronged kind of thing. It's finding the expertise, but finding the expertise that can operate in a collaborative manner. It's sometimes hard to do with attorneys because attorneys want to own the case.
I was going to say to you, do you find that the accountant or the financial person likes to own the client? But
No,
yeah,
no. The best referrals come from, well, actually, it's not a referral type because they're smart. It actually come, the financial people want to stay in their financial lane.
yes,
And believe me, the accountants want to stay with the numbers.
yeah.
They do, but the attorneys think that they can cross over. They're
Well,
the ones that.
I think I can cross over, but I definitely I've learned from you to have two hats to realize when I've crossed over.
Now, the person who is ideal to be more of that crossover person, but that's not the profession that picked the ball up, were the accountants.
Yeah,
Because the accountants understand everything about the business, all the numbers, all the figures.
yeah.
Okay. But what they don't know and what they're really not that strong in is they don't want someone crying in the office. They don't want to solve the conflict between the father and the son. That's not what they do. They want to stay with the numbers, please. I can tell you what they here are the numbers from last quarter.
I love that story you told us when we were visiting you with a group, private group in California, and you said, you know, the accountant's there, and then they ask an open question, and the person starts crying, and the accountant goes, "Oh no," and they can give a tissue, and they can go, "Oh, that's terrible," but they're really dying to get back to the numbers, so they kind of wait for the
Right?
person to take a breath.
They don't even say, oh, it's terrible. They just stop talking until the person stops crying so they can get back. They don't even give that word of comfort. They are uncomfortable, obviously, squirming in their chair or wherever they are until the person stops crying.